So it could, in the future, be a professional fighting sport.
Buhurt is a full contact sport. It's what we say is trying to hurt other without hurting and just playing a lot with the sport.
Don't be afraid to try something different.
Over the last, I would say maybe 5–10 years, the medieval combat has been gaining some more interest.
The first fight is always the difficult one.
Buhurt is a fighting sport with, I would say, two big categories: individual categories and group fights. So in individual fights, you got different classes of weapons. You got sword and shield, sword and buckler, the long sword, pole arms, and then there's also the outrance pro fight. So it's closest we have to, say, medieval MMA. And then the group fights, there's group fights with different numbers of teams, so 5 versus 5, 10 versus 10. This is the closest you get to fighting as they did in the medieval ages, so it's close you can get to true medieval battles.
I'm Maurice, I'm from Portugal. I'm 43 years old and I'm the first Portuguese to go to France and start all this madness.
When I first saw Buhurt, it was just some Portuguese that went abroad. They went, I believe that it was in France and then in Spain, and they started to show up what they were doing, and I got interested in that.
This started in 2012 at the castle of Montbazon, France. It was, how do you say, an invitation from one of the presidents of the French club, the Edouard M. And it started with a comment in Facebook. Simple as this.
For the creation of the APCOM, it's the dream to organize the things up and try to raise up the level and to create all of the things that we have talked before. So getting more people involved, getting more official reconnaissance, and with the reconnaissance, just bringing up more to the main public.
It's, how do you say, a bridge in contact with the official Buhurt International, and also to give clearance or information regarding changes of the rulings, the equipment, and also
the niche is already there. People that like this and people that love to do the sport already have that pleasure. There are people on Portugal already with 15 years of experience. Myself, I have already 10 years plus of experience with going outside and abroad. So Portuguese level still needs there is a lot of place to grow up and to develop. So that's the main thing on the groups gather together and to work in the same way.
So this is the third time we do the event. We've been growing each year. We started first with a small tournament just with duels and small Buhurt 3 versus 3 with about 5–6 teams. And then in the year afterwards, we got a bigger list made of with parts made of metal, part made of wood, similar to what we have here. Already with Buhurt 5 versus 5, some teams from Spain, some teams from Portugal. And then now the third year, which was also the same year that we created the National Association, we decided now it's the time, let's take the next step and do an official Buhurt International Tournament. So the third edition is our first official tournament in Portugal, which is Makes us very proud to be able to do it in such a short time. And now our expectation is continue growing and each year improving and learning from what we do and making the tournament bigger, bringing more teams from more countries. And who knows, maybe one day we can make a World Cup here in Portugal.
The Marshall teams, they are 3 levels inside of the organization on the Marshall. There is the Authenticity Committee that appeals to have the rules on the fittings and the looks and the equipment. There are the Secretariat that organize all the bureaucratic things on pairing the fighters and putting the tournament going on. And then there are the Marshals that you see on field. I'm just telling about all of those because most of the times they are not seen inside of the lists.
When people see us for the first time,
it may seem violent.
That's the first conclusion.
I don't refute that opinion, but it's a full contact sport. There are also a lot of people, mainly the marshals, working for having no problem in that sort of violence.
There's a lot of people, we see a lot of comments on the internet saying this is just a bunch of nerds beating each other with swords. It's not a lie, most of us are history nerds and we like medieval ages, but at the same time it's a very intense contact sport.
And start to think, okay, this is different. Because for a person who doesn't even heard about or ever seen a fight like this, they tend to compare the two worlds, the medieval recreation and the full contact fighting. So it's a shock at the beginning for many people.
For people that think this is just a show,
I invite them to come and watch and to try.
They can come and see it as a show. Show is no problem at all. But if they say it is a show as in terms of demeaning the sport, I just say practice, join a group or come to see what they are training for, because the trainings are real.
So this is not for show, this is real fighting.
Techniques are real, the tactics are real, so it's a sportivization of the sport, of the activity of fighting as a medieval, but it's a modern sport with some rules that resemble that thing. So just try to not just take the first glance and then to know a little bit more about the sport.
We're here to win, it's a competition, and even though we are very good friends outside of the list.
It's growing. It's growing. Not at the speed that we would like, but the people start to be aware of this kind of sport.
The main difference is the ability to fight in a group, and that's unparalleled in any other sport. The feeling you have of being with your guys inside the list, fighting against the opponent, the rush, the brotherhood you develop, it's something unique you don't get in any other kind of fighting sport, because you have that group bond. You have people watching your back, you are watching your comrades' backs, and there's nothing like it.
The problem for a fighter is to get equipped.
We don't have any armor in Portugal or Spain making full armors.
All the materials should be personalized.
So we have to order them mostly from Eastern Europe. So it's Poland, Czech Republic, even some pieces from Ukraine. So there's mostly where we buy our armor from.
If I believe that the Buhurt can be professional in the future, yeah, I hope so.
Well, we see it happening already in some countries, especially the Pro Fight Party, Armored MMA. There's already people looking at it as professional fights.
I hope so, but I believe so.
So it could, in the future, be a professional fighting sport. I see it happening first for the pro fight, then maybe, who knows, the group fights one day will be professional fights as well.
Any sportsman can say what they are fighting for. They are just fighting for having fun. Some are fighting just to win. Others are really competitive and they want to be the champion. Okay, but that's the part. For us as marshals, we don't really care who is the winner. We just want them to be inside of the rules and being safe, and the tournament goes.
From the first training I stepped in, as happens with, I'll say, 90% of the fighters, I fell in love with the sport, and I haven't stopped ever since.